the now and the then, where the story starts and never ends. Tune in, lean and feel the groove. Every moment, a vibe you can't lose. It's for the culture, by the culture. Brilliantly's got the soul to show you. Breaking it down, lifting it higher. Feel the rhythm, spark the fire.
Well, hello to you, and you. Welcome in to another edition of Brainley's Virtual Tour Live. You saw the thumbnail, you know my voice is damp. You know why you're here. I said what I said. Women, children, disabilities. Who else sounds like the male version of thirsty toxicity to me? Being funky about others makes you guilty like Milagro Grams and Tasha K. So let's get to it. Funky Dineva has some comments to say about autism. And I have a lot to say, plus a lot of evidence, as you guys know, over here. We are about the facts. And when I show you what I have, it's going to make you go like, wow, just wow, really? People are that stupid. And they are. Hey, Yolanda Cameron, good to see you, beautiful. Glad to have you here. Let's get to the gig and do what we do. Higher is waiting. Low is available. But either way, we got to go on tour. Yes, indeed, we do. Let me take down this iconic intro here. You see that virtual tour background. Yes, you do. You hear that virtual tour music. Yes, you do. And then there is me. Hey, everybody. Welcome in. Glad to have all you here. So basically, I heard the clip from Chef Don Don. And basically, this was about the Portia Williams and the Karen that talked about, her music being too loud. And then somehow he got onto people with autism and that, people in society don't have to deal with your autistic child and this, that, and the third and go over to that corner at the doctor's office and everything else. So what I decided to do was just bring up information. Now, y'all remember when Thirsty Toxicity went after Uppity for her autism? I actually brought up some information. I re-brought that information again, but also add some stuff to it because I really am getting tired of people that just say anything but don't think the information out here. Okay, so let's get to it and make it do it because, child, this got me so hot. But I've learned how to navigate my hotness. We're gonna start off with this here from UCLA here. Hang on, give me a moment. Give me one moment, y'all. There we go. That's the one I need right there. So UCLA Health, understanding undiagnosed autism in adult females. Here we go. Autism spectrum disorder, ASD, also known as autism, is a neurodevelopmental condition typically diagnosed in childhood. But some people, specifically people assigned female at birth, AFAB, may go undiagnosed until childhood. Okay. Now, like I said, Funky Dineva, Carlos King, and others of their caliber. Hey, Linnell, still good to see you, my friend. Don't have the range to do what I do. They don't. I'm gonna leave Dustin and Claudia and Blue out of this because this is not them. Okay. But I say Carlos and Funky because both of them seem not to care about women, children, disabilities, sobriety, or anything that has a weight of humanity connected to it. Okay, so let's keep going here. May go undiagnosed until childhood. Traditional estimates find that boys are 4 times as likely as girls to receive an autism diagnosis, but experts are realizing that almost as many females as males may have autism. Recent research shows that nearly 80% of autistic females are undiagnosed as of age 18. Autism diagnosis can be a relief for many adults. It may explain symptoms that they've always had but never been able to explain it. It can open doors to much needed health resources and support. Here's what you need to know about autism in adult females. While autism in females may go undiagnosed, there is no medical test to identify autism. Now, while there's no medical tests, there are cognitive tests to be able to identify autism. Healthcare professionals rely on the information they gather from a person's developmental history, symptom assessments, and behavior to reach a diagnosis. To diagnose autism, the physician must have evidence of both impairments in social communication interaction, restrictive, repetitive behaviors. But in people assigned female at birth, evidence of autism isn't always easy to identify because autism was traditionally considered a male condition. For many decades, experts assumed autism occurred more in males than females. Most autism research relied on male participants and examples, so what is known about autism is largely based in males. As a result, boys are referred for autism diagnosis 10 times more than girls. Physicians still don't have a strong understanding of autism in females. The autism assessment tools detect and measure known ASD traits established on a male baseline. To define autism in females is harder if their traits don't match what's traditionally considered ASD. Autism looks different in females, especially during childhood. In comparison to males, young females may have different autism traits, and those signs are always far enough outside socially acceptable norms to be noticeable. Autism traits in girls may include fewer social difficulties. Females report more sensory symptoms and fewer communication difficulties than males. They tend to be more socially motivated to form friendships and find ways to participate in conversations with others. That's number one. Number two, internalized symptoms. Boys managing autism may experience obvious difficulties with sitting still. That's why I always have a pen in my hand. Aggression or conduct. Here's the thing. Aggression is aggression to the outsider, but to, the person that's going off, it's passion, right? And I think we learned that anger was an emotion inside out, right? Because, some adults, their brains didn't develop after the age of 26. We got to reduce things on a child level for them. Now, if your brain developed after the age of 26, I ain't talking to you, okay? But if you move out here like you big, bad, and bold, but in real life you met your opponent, shut the fuck up, okay? And just roll right along, okay? Now, with that being said, if it doesn't apply, let it fly. But if you let it fly, it must apply. Or conduct. Girls are more likely to respond to autism internally, developing anxiety or depression. Their response may look like shyness, a socially acceptable norm for girls, typically restricted interest. Children with autism, girls and boys, often showcase a uniquely intense or strong interest in one thing. In girls, that tends to be something other. That tends to be something. That thing rather tends to be something other girls that age also enjoy, such as horses or celebrities. So the behavior doesn't call attention. There's limited research on how autism traits change across the lifespan. The existing studies show that autistic females may have better social and communication abilities in childhood. But once they reach adolescence and adulthood, they may exhibit more severe social communication difficulties than females. Females tend to mask signs of autism. Research shows that unless an autistic female has cognitive or behavioral issues, they are usually diagnosed later. Experts believe family, teachers, and primary care physicians may miss the signs because autistic females tend to camouflage their symptoms, called masking. Young females typically are more motivated than males to fit in and be social. Females with autism learn or mimic socially acceptable behavior by watching television shows, movies, and people around them. They may copy facial expressions of others to hide social communication challenges. Those efforts can cause mental exhaustion, stress, and anxiety. So the signs of autism in female adults. Undiagnosed people assigned female at birth may spend years, even decades, feeling like something is wrong with them, though they aren't sure what. They may learn to fit better into what they perceive as socially acceptable, but their artistic traits remain and continue to pose challenges. So here's what adult females with autism may experience. Social difficulties. Autistic people often have trouble reading and responding to social cues, leaving them anxious before a social situation and after worrying about their behavior. They may desire to be sociable and do better one-on-one than in social groups. Autistic adults may struggle with eye contact but force themselves to do it even though it's difficult and uncomfortable. Sensory sensitivity. Now, this is when Funky Dundee was talking about this. He was like, even when you have headphones on, that still doesn't give you the right to be out loud. And there's a thing called sensory rooms, Funky Dineva. Like I said, I know no one wants to procreate with you or adopt any children with you, but you do have nieces and nephews, right? And God forbid if one of them has autism. God forbid if one of your uncles or aunties has autism. God forbid anybody in your life got autism. Because now they're going to be like, you know what? I can't go to Uncle Funky. I'm just saying, whatever you usually talk about, there's somebody in your neighborhood that's going through that same thing. Just keep it in a buck. But Lord Jesus, it's always interesting when it's back on their doorstep. Now, why did Braylon talk about my family? Well, you just said that people with, autistic children, it's not society's problem to deal with them. That will also mean it's not our problem to deal with your family members and friends that got autism, Funky Dineva. You see how that works? It don't feel too good, does it? See, Funky Dineva doesn't have the capacity, capability, or comprehension of brain cells to form a brain to be able to do what I'm about to do tonight. Nor does Carlos King. Carlos King covers other reality shows besides his own. I'm just asking a question. When you see other celebrities talk about their shows and stuff, do they mention Carlos King in passing? And yes, we know Carlos King grew up with sisters and a brother and this, that, and the third, and he did talk about his family life. But in the same token, though, and I think this is the reason why people are getting pissed off at streamers. Not so much content creators, because content creation is way different than streaming. Streaming, you're basically being constant out. You wake up with a stupid mindset, you do stupid things, you get stupid results. That's basically all that streaming is nowadays, especially in real life streaming. But with content creation, you have to find the inch of a topic that's happening in reality and then stretch that out to make it a mile and create content around that mile that you create. So let's keep going. Some sensory sensitivities may be so strong that they must remove themselves from the trigger. And a heightened sense of smell, light, sound, or touch can overload the senses of an autistic adult. Autistic female adults may have difficulty sleeping because of sensory issues. A partner's breathing or the light from an alarm clock may be hard to tolerate. Difficulty with self-regulation and executive function. Autism can make it hard to stay organized or finish tasks, especially if the person affected doesn't find these tasks interesting. Their working memory, self-control, and ability to adapt thinking may present challenges, especially at work. Adults with autism may struggle to manage their emotions, stay emotionally controlled. Meltdowns may include crying or displaying temper. Intense interest. Females with ASD tend to obsess over their interests, even in adulthood. They need to know every fact and focus on every detail. Hello, media nerd here. Hello. But they may have a broader range of special interests than autistic males who tend to hone in on one subject. But this autistic brother is at 964,000 total views. Because I do remember Miss Banshee Gnosis going after me for autism, but yet Miss Banshee Gnosis has an autistic daughter. And I do remember how Uppity Lee fought for me on Empress Radio's platform, but Thirsty Toxicity couldn't say nothing to Uppity about her defending me, her virtual husband. So this is the thing. All skin folk ain't kinfolk. You know how Issa Rae said, I'm room for everybody black? I would like to ask her, does that include Amanda Seales? Y'all wonder why some people have boundaries, and when they create boundaries, it's disrespectful to you. Maybe if you respected the boundaries, maybe you wouldn't feel disrespected. Interesting. And I'm sure that there are some other alpha males that don't give a fuck about autism either. Yeah, I'm grouping all of them in a bunch. Yep. That includes DDG, Doo-Doo Garbage, PD Epidemics, Aiden, the racist, Massa Ross, Yeah, I'm including those guys. Why not? They didn't give a fuck about Haley Bailey and her child. Yeah. You know that phrase, sticks and stones may break me, but words will never hurt me. Child, it looks like some of these words are hurting you. Maybe it's because it's the truth. And if it's the truth, is it really shade? Moving on. Adults with autism often choose careers and hobbies that require intense focus. Repetitive behaviors. Autistic people may adopt certain repetitive behaviors, stimming or self-stimulating behavior, and help themselves regulate. Typical stimming behavior includes rocking, repeating words or phrases, and hand flapping. Repetitive behaviors may become more refined and socially acceptable in childhood, including skin picking. If you have eczema, which I do, I definitely pick off my dead skin. Pacing or twirling hair. Co-occurring conditions. Autism isn't degenerative. It doesn't get worse over time, but autistic people often develop other disorders after living with autism for some time. Coexisting conditions are more common in females than males, especially when they're diagnosed later in life, and they may have not gotten the care and services they need as special children. That's why IEP plans are very, very important. If you don't know what IEP plan is basically a plan for your child to get the best resources and care to get through school. That is free. FREE 99. Like, do pass go and do collect $200. Autistic adult females may experience anxiety, ADHD, depression, eating disorders, obsessive compulsive disorder, OCD, sleep disorders, and tic disorders. Right here, you don't need a diagnosis to see specialists who help autistic people if you think you have autism. But a diagnosis may provide access to therapy and support programs and help you get health insurance coverage to pay for those services. You may also be eligible for resources under the Americans with Disabilities Act, the ADA. Consult your primary health provider who can connect you with specialists and resources that can help. You should also consider mental health counseling, especially if you have co-occurring conditions. If you suspect you have autism, reach out to your primary care physician. This is information anybody can look up. I just want to just roll on here because there are some more things here. Why autism in Black boys are often missed. From Psychology Today, right here. Black boys are typically first diagnosed with other conditions such as attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, ADHD. Black children, particularly boys, are more likely to be misdiagnosed with behavioral disorders like ADHD or conduct disorders before receiving an autism diagnosis, right? So right here, African American and Latino children with autism are diagnosed at older ages than white children, giving them a less opportunity for proper intervention and treatment. Right. So a study in 2002 found that African American children with autism were diagnosed an average of 1.4 years later than white children and spent more than 8 months in mental health treatment before being diagnosed. In this study, Black children were 2.6 times less likely to receive an autism diagnosis than white children. So number one, lack of psychological testing and assessment. Relying solely on pediatricians and possibly starting medication aimed at correcting problematic behaviors will generally not help with diagnosing ASD. Medication may not be able to treat certain symptoms or co-occurring challenges such as anxiety, but will not help with the core challenges of ASD. So when medication fails, some parents will then seek psychological testing. Unfortunately, by then, many of these boys are older and early childhood interventions for ASD can no longer be implemented. Number two, the schools. Schools can meet the eligibility requirements for ASD in some states, which are mandated by their state board of education. However, many Black boys are not receiving educational testing and assessment in their schools for ASD. Like I told y'all, IEPs are written based on the behaviors that may not include goals that assist the boys with ASD. Systematic bias and stereotyping in healthcare. In my clinical experience, systematic bias and stereotyping in healthcare plays a significant role in the underdiagnosis or misdiagnosis of autism in Black boys. These biases, often unconscious, affect how healthcare professionals interpret and respond to behaviors exhibited by Black boys. So, Behaviors such as poor eye contact, repetitive actions, or difficulty in social interactions, typical signs of autism, are sometimes viewed through the lens of negative racial stereotypes. Instead of recognizing these as potential symptoms of autism, they may label as defiance, disobedience, or signs of conduct disorders. Black boys are more likely to be labeled aggressive, hyperactive, resulting in a focus on behavioral correction instead of developmental support. So, like I said, to you, Yolanda Cameron, as a man, think of so as he. Because guess what? It would be hard for Funky Dineva to be this intelligent, to do a whole live about something actually important with facts and a weight of understanding. It would be too much for him because his audience cannot take in information that is beyond, Uncle Tom energy. Oh, y'all want to talk about celebrities? Oh, I do declare we'll talk about celebrities because that's all I can talk about. That's all my brain can take. What the Funky Bunch gonna do? Because guess what? Here's the gag. The Funky Bunch probably has some children and some grandchildren that got autism. At least some of y'all in y'all families do. Everybody got somebody who knows about something. Either it's happening to them or happening to someone around them. Cut the fucking shit out with me. I got time. I got time. And guess what? Funky Dineva ain't gonna respond to none of this shit because it doesn't matter to him. He obviously doesn't care about people with disabilities. But wait till y'all see what else I got. Because if you've been here for a deep dive live before, I don't play about my research, okay? All right, let's keep going. Here we go, right here, number 4, cultural differences in behavior and communication. The healthcare system is not often equipped to recognize how autism may not often be equipped. The healthcare system is not often equipped to recognize how autism may manifest differently across racial and cultural groups. For example, nonverbal communication or social behaviors that might seem typical within a Black family or community may not be raised by the family in a consultation with providers. So verbal and nonverbal may also contribute to the underrecognition of autism in Black boys. For example, eye contact and conversational patterns that seem as atypical in some cultures might be more normative than others. Without adequate knowledge, parents might not recognize the early signs of autism or know when to seek help. Black parents might face additional challenges in advocating their children's needs in healthcare and educational and healthcare systems. Underrepresentation in research. Much of the autism research has historically focused on white populations, leading to the diagnostic criteria and screening tools that may not adequately account for variations in how autism represents in children from different racial or ethnic backgrounds, just as disparities exist in medical care and diagnosis of minority children. Current autism research is not adequately representative of the African American segment of the U.S. population. So, there is that there. We got more, of course, right here. The National Library of Medicine. I know that's probably too big for the Funky Bunch to, know what this website is. But for the rest of you, we're going to talk about it right here. I want to go to a particular part. The wide range of intellectual language skills associated with autism was highlighted in a Laura Wing article, 1981, Asperger's syndrome, which Asperger's is no longer said because of the history that it relates to that word, but just to give you context, conjecture, and connection. This described a group of individuals, many of whom were adults who, despite showing core symptoms of autism, were of at least average intellectual ability, often had good language, and tend to possess particularly well-developed skills or areas or interest in areas such as memory, mathematics, astronomy, history, geography, geology, etc. Wing argued that the conclusion of Asperger's disorder is as a subtype of autism was necessary to draw attention to the problems of individuals who, although highly intelligent, were significantly affected by their condition and required understanding and appropriate support in order to help them thrive. Adulthood It is associated with improvements as well as difficulties. So, Kramer, right here, in 1973, was one of the first clinicians to describe a group of autistic adults who, despite the severity of their symptoms when younger, were sequentially functioning remarkably well and mingling and working and maintaining themselves in society. In particular, he noted that higher achievers were characterized by greater self-awareness of their difficulties and the ability to use their special skills and interests in ways that enhance social inclusion and led to success in education and employment. Right here, Asperger, translated by Frith in 1991, went so far as to suggest that able autistic individuals can rise to intimate positions and perform with such outstanding success that one may even conclude that only such people are capable of certain achievements. Let me read that 2 more times. Able autistic individuals can rise to eminent positions and perform with such outstanding success that one may even conclude that only such people are capable of certain achievements. One more time for the one more time. Able autistic individuals can rise to eminent positions and perform with such outstanding success that one may even conclude that only such people are capable of certain achievements. Sequential studies have also described a wide range of autistic talents, with reviews suggesting that around 2/3 of individuals possess special skills and strengths. Okay. So, just want to bring that up, and then also here, right here. So there was a recent meta-analysis here, identified 17 studies involving 1,076 participants, pooled estimates of outcomes that indicated that approximately 18% of participants were rated as having a good outcome in terms of employment, social relationships, and independent living. 28% were rated as having a fair outcome, remaining relatively independent, but in some form of supported employment with some social activities outside the home, and 51% was rated as poor. Now, of course, this was a study. This does not mean everything, but it does go to show that research has been done. Okay. So, and also too, I just want to go to how many references or works cited there is in this thing. Give me a moment. Right here, a more positive CQOL is correlated with being employed, receiving support, and being in a close relationship. Autistic women tend to report a higher social QOL and men a higher physical OQOL. Okay, so just want that to be known as well. Now, here are the references. Just want to show you this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100, 101, 102, 103, 104, 105, 106, 107, 108, 109, 110, 111, 112, 113, 114, 115, 116, 117, 118, 119, 120, 121, 122, 123, 124, 125, 126, 127, 128, 129, 130, 131, 132, 133, 134, 135. Still not done. 136, 137, 138, 139, 140, 141, 142, 143, 144, 145, 146, 147, 148, 149, 150, 151, 152, 153, 154, 155, 156, 157, 158, 159, 160, 161, 162, 163, 164, 165, 166, 167, 168, 169, 170, 171, 172, 173, 174, 175, 176, 177, 178, 179, 180, 181, 182, 183, 184, 185, 186, and 187 references in this study about autism. Do we really want to be this damn stupid? Do we really want to be this damn stupid? I'm just asking a question. Okay, now this came from this. Adults with Autism, Changes in Understanding Since DSM 1111 by Patricia Howell from the National Library of Medicine, the PubMed Central. Okay. Couple of things. This black woman here, 3 years ago, okay, opened up a black-owned nail school just 8 months after opening a beauty bar. So this is Alicia Thompson, a 21-year-old African-American woman with autism from Hampton, Georgia, who has defied stereotypes and achieved incredible success as an entrepreneur in the beauty industry. Just 8 months after opening up a beauty bar, she is now celebrating having opened her very own nail school. Aaliyah has always been passionate about the beauty industry, but she recognized that many individuals still face barriers to chasing their dreams with limited access and resources. But this she embarked on a mission to open a nail school that catered to people of all abilities, from neurotypical individuals to those with diverse needs. Aaliyah's dedication to inclusivity has caught the attention of many in the beauty industry, including McDonald's Black and Positively Golden Change Leaders Program. So wait a minute, an autistic black woman got to partner up with McDonald's? Oh my Lord. Funky, have you ever partnered up with a big brand like McDonald's? I'm just asking a question. I'm just asking a question. I didn't think so. She's currently being featured in a McDonald's commercial that's being aired nationally on BET and other networks with actress and TV personality Kiki Palmer, who is more famous than Funky Dineva, I might add. Despite facing numerous physical and mental challenges along the way, Aaliyah remains steadfast in her goal. She says that her mission has always been to create a more inclusive environment in both education and work. Her nail school offers special training sessions to accommodate individuals with different abilities. She also employs individuals on the spectrum to work in her nail school, giving them valuable career and life skills. This groundbreaking achievement in the beauty industry makes Aaliyah an inspiration for all aspiring entrepreneurs. Her passion and hard work have paid off with the establishment of her own nail school just 8 months after opening her own beauty bar, with the support of several experienced State Board of Georgia licensed educators who have committed to volunteer 1 day a week. Thompson's Nail School is sure to be exciting and successful venture. Her nail school, which is called the Aaliyah Alicia Thompson School of Nails, is located at 184 North Avenue, Jonesboro, Georgia. The business can be reached at 404-259-6598. That's 404-259-6598. That's 404-259-6598. Her beauty bar is called Aaliyah's Beauty Bar, and is located at 3797 Highway 138, Stockbridge, Georgia. This business can be reached at 678-604-6809. That's 678-604-6809. That's 678-604-6809. For more details about her beauty bar, her nail school, and her partnership with McDonald's, follow her on Instagram at Aaliyah's Beauty Bar. But wait, there's more. Because Funky really said what he said about autism. But what's this? What is this? Oh my God, this is Mensa. Okay, this is Mensa. This is an organization for autistic individuals. Team Armani Racing, NASCAR's first openly autistic driver. Let me say that 2 more times. NASCAR's first openly autistic driver. First openly autistic driver. Child, let's roll on. Like I said, when you can utilize intelligence and make a men shut the fuck up. From a childhood fascination with toy cars to blazing down the asphalt, Amari Williams' journey is a testament to the power of passion. Diagnosed with autism at just 2 years old, Amari didn't let a label define him. Instead, he challenged his unique perspective into becoming the first openly autistic NASCAR driver. So there he is, right there. Handsome brother there. So right here, okay, accept. In a world that often overlooks neurodiversity, Amari's presence on the track is revolutionary. He is not just racing, he's rewriting the narrative. He's showing the world that autism isn't a barrier, it's a superpower. His ability to hyper-focus and process complex information simultaneously, traits associated often with autism, are key assets in the high-speed, high-stakes world of racing. Amari's partnership with Visit Mensa is just more than a sponsorship. It's a shared commitment to inclusivity. When I first came to Mensa, Amari recalls, I discovered a city that celebrates diversity. By the way, I meant to say Mensa, Arizona, I believe. So my bad on that. But still, Visit Mensa supports autism. Okay, so shout out to that. I discovered a city that celebrates diversity. I want to show others on the spectrum that they too can find their place, their passion, their Mensa. His message is clear. Don't let anyone tell you what you can't do. Amari's story isn't just about racing. It's about breaking barriers, inspiring a generation, and proving that with determination and the right support, anything is possible. In 2025, Amari continues to push the limits on both on and off the track, proving that the future of motorsports in the world is inclusive. Now, I wanted to see if this was a topic on YouTube. And oh my God, look at this. Look at this. Oh my, BET Networks has covered Black and Autistic. Wow. Amazing. There's a doctor talking about autism. There's a content creator talking about autism there. There's a whole TED Talk, Young, Gifted, and Black with Autism. LaShannon Hannon, TED, Cooper River Women. There's a fine sister right there, being Black and Autistic, the brand that no one talks about. Global Autism Project, Night Functioning Autism, Black and Autistic, Autistic Experience as a Black Woman, D.L. Hughley's fear for his son with autism. So it kind of blows my mind, because it's just like, are we really this stupid? Are we really this? Oh my God, there's me. There's me right there. Well, we can take some time out for this. Like, my Lord Jesus, like, what are we doing here? Are we really this stupid? Are we really this stupid? Thank you so much. I appreciate you, Amani, 8753. But really, are we this stupid? Listen to all the research I got for y'all. Because, you know, and far be it from me to give an opinion, but I would like to think that if there's videos on YouTube about, I wonder if there's a list of Black autistic influencers. Oh, wait, there is. You dumb fucks. Okay? All right. So here's Thomas right here, special needs teen, 18 years old, Magical Thomas there. 175,000 subscribers on YouTube, Funky.Neva, just in case you didn't know there. Here is Tola, raising a fine Black man with autism. Instagram followers, 500,000 right there. Female, by the way. So let's see. That's a male with autism. That's a female with autism. Let's keep going. Next, Wintersbane, autistic with a dash of ADHD. Female, 300,000 Instagram followers there. Miko, Las Vegas, autism advocate, almost getting close to 500,000 right there. Yes, indeed, that's her beautiful daughter right there. We love kids around here. Yes, we do. Amina Mkulo, a rainbow in your cloud, Black, autistic, queer, and proud, 376,000 followers on Instagram. Female, wow. Tamira Rochelle, got autism right here, getting close to 300,000. Female, wow. Let's keep going. Brittany Elizabeth Nichelle, a sovereign girl, practical magic for neurodivergence. Female, let's keep going. And that's a Black woman. Wow, what a shock. Autism mom, Maryland Autism travel tips. We'll get to travel a little bit later because there's somebody really huge in a particular industry that's doing something big. But female there, Stanley, father-son bond, male, autism is life. AJ Massa, autism mom, creating and brand apparel in support of autism, male. And I do believe that the Tylers, Jamie, has a son with autism from Love and Marriage DC. Let's keep going. Lauren Melissa Ilsey, female. Shaden, female. Helping society to understand autism spectrum. LaQuista Arena. Autism Family Sharing Art. Also therapist, female there. Tanisha Alexander. Awesome Life Institute certified autism specialist, female. Kayla Nicole, young disability justice activist, female. My Lord Jesus, and a YouTube channel. Look at that. Phenomenally autistic, female with a YouTube channel. Yes, indeed. Ash Calvin, female as well. Wow, that's amazing. Tamika M. Butler, right here, female, right here. Autism. Jeremiah, autistic pastry chef. Come on. Book author, motivational speaker, autism advocate, male. My Lord Jesus, let's keep going. Aisha, right here, female, autism. Timothy Gordon, right here. Blog focusing on topics and news surrounding autism, autistic, disabled, and neurodivergent. Like in my pocket, male. Let's keep going. Shakira, autism mom and autism advocate, female, right there. Trey's Way, right here, female. Trey's Way counseling, family inspired sensory focus. Shout out to you there. And then, of course, 24 through 150. Are we really being this fucking stupid on YouTube? Really, are we really being this fucking stupid on YouTube? Let's keep going, right? So here's a video here talking about being Black and autistic from Lovelet Jallo. Here we go.
Everybody,
my Lord.
I know it's been a while since I've been active on here on YouTube, and as much as I wanted to come back, I thought it wouldn't be right if I didn't do a video sharing why I have been away. For those of you who are new, my name is Lovette Jallo, and I'm a 9-time award-winning author, public speaker,
9-time award-winning author,
neurodiversity, intersectionality, as well as human rights. Some of you know me from that type of work. And today, I really wanted to open up more about my journey, both the challenges, but also the growth since I've been away for a year plus. And it's something that I navigate and how I navigate life as a Black African diaspora woman who is autistic, often working in spaces that really don't feel like they're built for us. In fact, I know they're not built for us.
Oh, hey, Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. Growing up, all I wanted was a Teddy Ruxpin doll. But now that I'm old...
So let's get straight into it. Why have I been away? I was taking a lot of time. It wasn't a choice that I made lightly, but it was a necessary one for myself, because balancing public advocacy, writing books, and my personal well-being as an autistic woman was overwhelming. Doing the advocacy work in the public sphere requires me to show up, often whilst processing the same systemic and personal challenges that I'm working to dismantle, that we are working to dismantle. So imagine that, workplace trauma, but I'm teaching about workplace trauma. So for me, taking that break was about reclaiming my energy. I had to take a step back, acknowledge that I'm not a strong Black woman. It's taking a toll on me being in the public eye, but also prioritize my mental health and look at my personal relationships. Burnout compounded on top of that emotional weight of advocating for yourself whilst navigating the Swedish healthcare system, and also explaining it to my loved ones who always saw me as not as autistic as I actually am. So let's talk about autism, trauma, and trust. A significant part of my time away, I have to admit and be honest with you, was spent processing trauma from people I trusted, people who should have looked out for me when I was younger. And this is not new for any autistic individual, because we know trust is deeply personal. We take people at their word. And when that trust is broken, it leave scars that can take a long time to heal. And I've been reflecting on how autistic delayed processing plays a role in understanding and dealing with these experiences, because 80% of autistic people have trauma from caregivers, your parents, friends, and partners. And this can take weeks when it comes to delayed processing, months, and for some of us, years, to fully understand how deep the harm caused by someone that should have looked out for you has caused you. And this isn't just my story. It's a common experience for many autistic people, men, women, non-binary. Now, add to being autistic, being Black. Add on top of that, being of the West African diaspora, stigma, and living in this world that really demands that we mask our true selves to be accepted.
Now, I know that some of you are like, Bray, why aren't you giving commentary? For this experience that we are in right now, I feel like it's very important for y'all to hear her fully out. And I know that that's not traditionally done, but with such a heavy weighted and very human issue, it makes no sense for me to give commentary about this Black woman's experience when it's her experience. So that's why I'm letting it play all the way through. So let's keep going.
And I am not great at doing that. It creates a layered trauma. So for so long, I felt forced to mask, to adapt in ways that erased essential parts of who I am. But I've also reached a point where I was no longer willing to do that. As much as I advocate for others, I've learned to advocate for myself, to stand firm in my private spaces that weren't also designed for me, and to let go of the expectations that people place on my shoulders that I never asked for. These are the conversations I'll be exploring more in my upcoming videos. Things like how trauma, delayed processing, and broken trust intersect with autism, how being Black and autistic, what is our daily life like? And also, what does healing look like? Because that's a huge part. Let's talk about what it means to be autistic and of the African diaspora. Being autistic in an African family, in the African diaspora, is a dynamic that isn't talked about enough. There's a specific kind of misunderstanding we face in our own communities, where autism, even ADHD, and neurodiversity as a whole is seen through a very small lens, if it's recognized at all. Because how many times do I get, you don't look autistic? Well, let me pick up that uniform and bring it out, sir. So growing up, autism wasn't something that was openly discussed or understood. So they're labeling in home things that are inherently autistic as defiant or rebellion. Black women, there's a added expectation to be resilient from a small child, taking all these burdens but never show cracks. So when you're autistic, that expectation becomes that impossible standard. And I've had to navigate systems, not just in the Western world, but in home life where people didn't see or understand me. And I had to do that to survive. And now I'm advocating for others like me. So this is why advocacy is also deeply personal. It's really about challenging those systems and showing others in similar situations that you're not alone. We're so many.
At Spectrum, we believe every day unlocks unlimited possibilities. Spectrum transforms your gaming experience.
Advocacy matters that deeply for me, especially for neurodiversity, because it's tied to equity and inclusion. That is all the discussions right now. It's not about creating awareness. It's about creating understanding, but also impacting systemic change. And for those of us with intersecting identities, being woman, autistic, Black, African diaspora, queer, Muslim, the fight is even more critical because so often our experiences are erased or ignored. We're just told to suck it up. So moving forward, my channel, this is going to be a space where you will see more authentic Lavette. I'm going to share more about these intersections, what it's like to process trauma, go through EMDR, breaking the cycle of masking, because to be honest, if you can't be authentic, you die slowly on the inside. My journey to reclaiming my identity in a world that demands that I conform. So I want to say thank you so much to all of you for listening and for sticking around this channel, for continuing to watch my old videos as I've taken the time I've needed to recuperate. And if any of the things that I've said in the video resonates with you, don't be shy at all. Talk to me, share them in the comments. I always read every single one. And let's continue having these conversations because they matter to me, but I know they matter to some parents out there. They matter to late diagnosed women out there. So this space, however the new videos come, even when I'm talking about hair, there will be getting to know me on another level as I'm not hiding the autism anymore or the difficulties, but also the joys. There's so many joys that I've had in this period too. Take care. Bye.
That was lovely. I love this describe to her. So, a Black woman talking about autism. And, you know, there was a moment for me where I went to the Stonewall 50 play at Kent State University. And I was talking with somebody. I said, you know why I really love media is because all the lights, the colors, the sounds. You know, for an autistic person to go into media, it's kind of crazy because you're going to the ultimate hypersensitive machine. But my main goal is I want the next Braylon Lee. I want the next young woman, even seasoned person, you know, whoever. I want them to watch me handle all those colors, lights, and sounds so well that by the time I retire, here's the manual, here are the keys, and here's my number if you need me. So while other people are screaming, raving, and doing whatever, because they probably have no content their damn self, but yet talking about others that do have content, the rest of us out here are standing for something, right? Now, I want to also bring up some more videos here. So here's a clip from Newscom Australia. Here we go.
I have a child who is different, has a different brain. What can I do to support them? But then I was sad at the world I would need to raise them in. So it's not the autism that's the problem. It's not the ADHD, it's not disability, it's not any of these things. It's our society that is not equal and accessible for different people. And that's not just disability, that's race, that's queer people, that's trans people. If we're gonna be intersectional, society is made for able-bodied, cisgender, straight people. Men, I should say, because, you know, women have different experiences. I realize that is the challenge, not the diagnosis, not the difference in brain. But as I have raised him, as I get support for him, I am confronted with the layers of barriers we face because we're Black autistic. I have a...
Well, that's not the only person who can speak on autism. Here's this brother right here.
I'm autistic, bro. I've been watching Love on the Spectrum, and I was like, how the fuck did nobody know something was wrong for years, bro? I was like, I was over there just mad at my family. I was like, y'all could have saved me so much fucking trouble, bro. Everybody's like, you just weird or you act white, and I'm like, man, I don't think that's it. Bro, when there was a school dance, I was like, I always be like, I don't want to go. I do not want to fucking go.
Anxiety.
A bunch of people, all the lights, fucking loud. No, I'm like, man, that sounds terrible. I would much rather be like, you got a free library day and just bring your own book from home. I was like, that's great. We need to do better. We gotta do, bro. Everybody's like, you bad or you weird. Nobody goes to the doctor. I'm autistic, bro.
Now, here's a video from a young man That autistic black man here, let's watch him. I was 42 when I realized I might be autistic.
You already love someone autistic, but many of us go undiagnosed. I want to unmask. I want to sit here in this pink light and be myself for you.
But I hope you don't mind if I do this over the phone. I need some type of barrier even though I'm in this room alone.
Filming this on the phone like the one you'll see this on. I know my words can...
Oh, and by the way, look at this one. Right there. The sex lives of autistic people. Okay? Autistic people fuck! And they make love too. And here's Jacksepticeye, one of the biggest YouTubers who has autism. So as you can see, there's a lot of people that have autism, Funky Dineva and Funky Bunch. Let's keep going.
It sounds like poetry, but I text better than I speak, so bear with me. I'm that autistic black man, and welcome to my channel where I help you relate to your autism.
Oh my God, wait a minute. Not another black man with autism. Oh my God. Wow, what a shock.
Autistic black man. I haven't been this vulnerable in such an open space, but it's essential to share what autism looks like. Pun on that look like, because you see the setting, right? As an adult, so other black men and the people who love us know we exist. We're your uncles, brothers, cousins, husbands, neighbors, colleagues, and friends. Sit and let me rap to you for a minute as a black man diagnosed later in life.
The definition.
Autism, or ASD, encompasses a range of conditions marked by difficulties in social skills, repetitive behaviors, speech, and nonverbal communication. It affects around 1 in 36 children in the U.S. with diverse subtypes shaped by genetic and environmental factors. As a spectrum disorder, individuals exhibit unique strengths and challenges in learning, thinking, and problem solving, varying from highly skilled to severely challenged. Support needs differ from significant assistance to independent living. Autism development is influenced by multiple factors, often accompanied by sensory sensitivities, medical conditions like GI disorders and seizures, as well as mental health issues such as anxiety and depression. Diagnosis typically occur by age 3 and sometimes even as early as 18 months. Early intervention enhances future outcomes. Now, I fall into the group of those with low support needs that are high masking, meaning with efforts and practice, I'm able to assimilate. Code switching is an example of a masking technique.
Do you have a code switch right now? Hell no.
Let me share a few of my quirks related to ASD, ADHD, and depression and how they show up in me.
We're gonna skate to one song only.
My day-to-day requires loose planning that doesn't divert from the routine much. And when it does, I study every new addition until it feels less anxious to me. The moment I step outside is like a new episode to follow that distraction. My brain plays connect the dots with patterns while the world teases my focus like a carnival game. I work out twice a day and have a rotation of meals that are usually the same every week. Marinara Mondays, Taco Tuesday, White Castle Wednesdays, pizza on the weekends, and a lot of chicken and rice somewhere.
I love this
I'll
book
trust
already.
you with food.
No thanks. Already ate.
My palate is like Inspector Gadget's closet. The list of things I'll eat is shorter than the things I won't. I'll try new things to be polite, but there are certain foods that I can't stand due to their texture.
You should know that my son has extremely delicate digestion.
Some days veggies are fine. Other days coffee upsets my stomach. You ever get on the escalator behind someone who just stops at the end like it doesn't keep moving? I'm a master of awkward pauses. My brain is like that person. My mind races on different subjects while trying to filter out what I don't need. I tend to catch what others miss, like a detective spotting clues in a whodunit film. My brain's like a hip-hop head with R&B roots. I can make out the slightest sample and catch metaphors like Velcro, but sometimes get lost in the beat. These pauses may seem awkward, but it's just my brain working in overdrive. Some people overeat, others overdrink, but I overthink, which comes from my oversharing. I could talk your ear off about random issues. It's like my brain's a crate of albums ready to be sampled. Like our planet being the only one that doesn't have a name for its moon. But small talk, I'm like a comedian with stage fright.
Off the stage.
I overthink and analyze conversations for days after they've happened, thinking what could I have said differently, especially if I'm left on red. I'm the opposite of my family when it comes to texting. They come across as flat and as monotone as I see them in person, but I'm more expressive in text. I mean, I write music, so that checks out. Getting those words to leave my brain out of my mouth literally is like rehearsing a song before recording it, but in real time, so it's no retake after the words leap out. They tend to come with extra than if I just sent a text. I text with emojis so my tone isn't misunderstood. And speaking of family, loud noises make me uncomfortable. Family gatherings where it gets too loud make my heart race. The excitement with black people in spades.
It's so damn true.
Shouting at the TV with whatever sports game is in season and throwing the controller when the game cheats? No, sir. The cookouts and the group birthday dinners make me anxious because
Only paying for what's on the check. I'm not splitting the bill, shawty. You got lamb chop. You got steak.
My name is
Bumblebee.
My brain is like Bumblebee from Transformers. I'm remixing your sentences with movie quotes and songs and commercials in my head. Sometimes it's funny, and you might just catch me laughing out loud. I feel at ease with my headphones to filter out the world. When I'm alone away from home, I'm listening to music to filter out other people's conversation. I have enough going on in my head, and distractions are the exact reasons for me putting off today what I put off yesterday until tomorrow. My eyes work just fine, and I'm all about the details like a Virgo noticing a new phone in the background of the photo you just sent. My head's on the swivel when I'm outside. I control the music, I set the vibe.
Don't touch me.
Unwanted touch is uncomfortable. I have to let my guard down to be touched, so anyone just grabbing me and touching me sends a level of rage over me. A bare hug from my husband feels like compression workout clothes. It's comforting. I can't stand my feet covered for too long, but when I'm in public, I'm usually stimming with my toes, spreading them out like a cat. And speaking of toes, if I'm not focusing on how I'm walking or if I'm by myself, I tend to walk on the front of my foot. Sometimes I'll tap my fingers like I'm playing a cymbal. When I'm anxious or stressed, I pick my skin, usually the top of my head or the bottom of my feet. These can tend to be painful because I can go too far, but the repetition and the feeling in itself is very soothing. Oh, and I grind my teeth. And many of these stress-related stems came later in life as a result of me masking. I don't mind being alone. In fact, sometimes it's a relief, but that's what scares me the most as a married man. What if my alone time becomes my only time? I'm not big on socializing, so I do whatever I can to avoid it. If I'm shopping, I'll use self-checkout, and I pray I won't need assistance. I rehearse conversations that I might have when I go out in public because I battle with not liking people to needing human interaction. Socializing can be scary because it's unpredictable, no matter how much I rehearse for it.
Let me go in and check on these goddamn garbanzo beans.
I'm often misunderstood and come across rude with how my first mind wants to act. For example, if I invented Google, I'd probably call it WTF because every time I want to search something, what the fuck are garbanzo beans? My brain fills in the WTF. I usually have to edit what I text a few times before I send it because my directness can be abrasive. My facial expressions can be misleading. You might think I'm plotting something when I'm just really trying to figure out where I know this melody that's been stuck in my head for the past hour. I can recognize a songwriter's pen instantly, but then there's times like today when I just realized Tidra Moses wrote Dip It Low, and she's also singing on the background vocals.
When I let him lay with you.
It's clear as bright, but I'm just now hearing it. I miss social cues, and I tell the truth when a lie would be better for everyone. I had a guy ask me if my best friend was playing him for his money. I told him it wasn't his face of the conversation.
Oh no, you didn't.
My best friend's exact words to me in private. Meanwhile, you probably would have known to protect your friend and say, nah. Making eye contact feels like holding your hand under a faucet. It's uncomfortable, and the longer I try, the hotter it gets. At times, I find myself humming to soothe my soul when my memory bank decides to do its own iPod shuffle. I'm not gifted. I don't operate on the genius level, but when I'm interested in something, I lock in like a booted double parked car on a Sunday. I will research everything about it. For instance, when I wanted to know what does Pharrell use to make music, I learned to produce music because I wanted to know how my favorite producer made music in hopes I'd learn how to use the same equipment. Today, I'm self-taught on that same keyboard. Okay, it's a workstation, but the general public that's not into music production probably think that I'm talking about some type of desk. That's why I said keyboard, but the nerd in me wouldn't let me go any further without addressing that. When I'm focused, I can practice for hours, forgetting to eat at times. When I meet another person I can talk music with, I'm like a hype man at a concert. Trying my best not to be Puff all up in your video.
Even the sun goes down.
The nighttime can be tough for anyone, but for me, it's like facing a storm of emotions without an umbrella. That's when I start reflecting on what I've accomplished for the day. And if it's not what my brain is telling me is good enough, I feel low. I call these moments the 90s. I have bad thoughts thinking that the world wouldn't lose anything in my absence. Before I knew I was autistic, I would question why I was crying when everything in life seemed to be going well. I'm married, I'm loved, my needs are met. So why does waking up every day feel like I've just returned to my body after exploring from a different space? It's like the opening scene from a sci-fi film, but instead of some cool alien shit, it's just me feeling lost in my own skin. That's why my routines are important for my mental health. I hate when I have a meltdown in front of others. They don't get it. I can't explain it while it's happening, and the questions aren't helping. It was 6 a.m. before I even had coffee. Barely had time to piss. When everything that could irritate the shit out of me decides to turn it up a notch. Like, what's really good? The neighbor clanging a glass bowl, signaling that it's Oscar's mealtime at 6 a.m. My own impatient kid begging for his tuna entree, then bullying his big brother for his as the second portion. Add to that the infant below us crying at 5:30, and I'm barely awake. My triggers are unpredictable. But this morning, morning. It was a perfect mix. The constant yapping, pushing my patience to the edge, and I'm just 4 or 5 seconds from serving that damn canned fish. Emotion surged like a tidal wave, overwhelming me all at once, pushing me to a 1-2 snap. I'm yelling, now waking my husband up in a panic. Both cats hiding from me, not eating the food they just begged for minutes ago, leaving me to feel like shit. Some days they linger like a hangover, while others they're out of here faster than the person that owes you money. Don't ask me what's wrong. I've asked myself what's wrong, and I don't know. Ask if I need anything, if you really need it. Getting diagnosed at 42 was an emotional roller coaster, but my life has been one big adventure. Now that I have a name for my quirks, I can be nicer to myself and embrace neurodiversity. I can humble the voice that says I'm the shit, and I can try to ignore the one that says I should quit. But let's keep it above. I sometimes feel like a burden, especially when I share my feelings with others. I promise myself I won't dump on them again, but I'm like a broken record. I find myself doing it again and again. But it's okay to be the weird uncle, or the cousin that's a little off, or that flighty nephew. That's just a part of who I am. And I'm learning and growing, embracing all of who I am in this crazy neurotypical world. That's what it's all about. Life's a journey of self-discovery. And I might have been the last one to get the memo, but hey, better late than never, right? I'm embracing my quirks like a pastor with the collection plate. So hit that subscribe button if you enjoyed this sermon and the spirit so moves you to do so. Hit that like button so Al Gore knows to let his rhythm know that other people with similar interests need to see this. I'd love to hear your own quirky adventures. Share your stories in the comments below. The conversation's just getting started, but I'm gonna call you back later so we can talk about.
First of all, well done to that man right there. That man is more of a man than the sperm that formed as a person who Funky Dineva is today. That man was open, he was honest, and he was true in everything that he said. And you know, the ones that really truly deserve to make it, they can barely get to the door. But the ones that are like Funky Dineva, they go through the door and cause hell, don't give a fuck about how everybody is being unalived in the burning that they caused. Well done to that content creator. That content creator's name is That Autistic Black Man. Let me pull up his page here so you guys can see what it is. So this is his page right here. And then, of course, that beautiful sister that we saw earlier, Lovelet Jallo, here is her right here. 9-time award-winning lecturer. I don't think that Funky Dineva has given even one lecture or anything important. TEDx speaker, author, and founder of Action for Humanity. So I will drop both of their links in the live chatterization. And like I said, I know that the Funky Dineva and the Funky Bunch won't give a fuck about this live. If anything, they'll be like, oh, well, look who's a fucking smart ass that pulled up all this information and making us look stupid. No, you were born stupid, and because you could not become smart, you rain hell on other people. That's not our problem. And yes, I'm talking to Funky Dineva and the Funky Bunch. Because when Thirsty Toxicity went after Uppity, oh, there were consequences for that. And many other things that Thirsty Toxicity did. Just like Miss Banshee-nosis, making fun of an autistic person, but yet she got autistic daughter. Child. Just like Funky Dineva has made fun of autistic people. I'm sure there's other alpha men like Doo-Doo Garbage, DJ PDF Epidemics, and Aiden Massa Ross. They don't give a fuck about autistic people either. Moving on. And like I said, if what I'm saying ain't true, don't respond. But if you do respond, it must be true about your bitch ass and bitch ass to some damn degree. Now, with that being said, let's see this clip here. This is D.L. Hughley. Fear for his son with autism. Defiance could get him deleted.
When they used to tell me Kyle was defiant, what I recognized a long time ago is that defiance is what gets young black men killed. Because the most young black men who are in prison have learning disabilities. They are dyslexic in some way, audio or idio. They can't hear or they can't understand their process. 85% of men in prison. So to somebody of a different culture, somebody culturally different, that may seem mischievous or he dances to his own beat. When it's our culture, somebody gets killed. And I knew right away that I would have to prepare him for a world that wasn't like the world she wanted for him. Like she was a coddler. And I was like, get in the game. I can't let him do this because it will cripple him. It'll be, you could literally get your son killed by not getting him ready for a world that won't see him that way. So I think for a lot of his existence, a lot of his growing up,
Where a lot of his growing up.
I failed him. I'm not getting him ready. And I was scared to death that I would, if you fail your son, he dies. He could die. Not my daughters, I knew they'd be all right. But I didn't know how to make him ready for this world and see it clear so he could see what's coming. Like everybody tells you, put your hands on the wheel or stay away from this or don't do this. Black boys don't get that kind of break, and you know it. So for me, it wasn't about vanity. It was about how do I make this boy ready to for a world that, like, if something happens to me tomorrow, I know my son is going to be all right.
Shout out to E.L. Hughley and his wife. By the way, this got 229,000 views 7 years ago. The Autistic Black Man. Go back to it. Right here. 6,100 views 2 years ago. That lovely sister that we saw earlier, Gillette Jalla, right here, 10 months ago, 2,100 views. Listen, I just keep it a buck with y'all, right? And right here, this short, 2,136 views, right? This short right here, 12,622 views. Here's Black and Autistic Families Fight for Services, 5,700 views 1 year ago. Right here, children of color with autism face disparities for care and of care and isolation. 43,000. Let me zoom in on that because Funky Dineva want to know what getting views about something else about. Let me flip the reverse around that. Funky Dineva will not know how to get views about talking about something else that's bigger than reality TV. 43,000 views 8 years ago. Here's that TED Talk right here. 40,000 views 8 years ago. Young, gifted, and Black with autism. LaShann Hannon, TEDx Cooper River women. Now, I want to give a shout out to this company here. Breeze Airlines. If you don't know, they celebrate autism with Autism Awareness Month right here. They have expanded team member trainings. Supporting individuals with ASD starts at home by providing our team members with training and resources that arm them with the knowledge that they need to deliver seriously nice experiences to our guests on the autism spectrum. Our team members participate in comprehensive job-specific voluntary training that helps them identify guests who may need extra help. The training also educates them on potential safety or sensory concerns they may encounter, offers recommendations for managing those concerns. Today, over 75% of our flight attendants have completed this training. We're expanding the program to pilots and other field and support team members throughout the company. Practice boarding events. Another way we're putting this commitment into action is to collaborate on practice boarding events, which we host in partnership with ADC and local airports. These exercises stimulate a real flight experience for people with ASD and their families by helping participants become more familiar with airports procedures, such as TSA screening, navigating the terminal, and boarding. They're not only moving, they're potentially life-changing, giving participants the chance to practice travel in a process in a low-pressure environment and alleviate anxieties, ensuring they know what to expect when it's time for their first flight. They have done 9 of these events so far in markets like Providence, Rhode Island, Hartford, Connecticut, and Provo, Utah. Looking forward to bringing them to other airports in our network as we move forward. Many families with loved ones on the autism spectrum choose to drive long distances when vacationing to avoid the overstimulating environment of an airport. The ultimate goal for our practice boardings is to make air travel more convenient for travelers on the autism spectrum and give them the confidence to take the vacation they've always wanted to, or perhaps felt too intimidated to. So this year, in recognition of Autism Awareness Month, they're excited They're excited to be participating in not one but two practice boarding events in partnership with ADC, our airport partners at Bradley International Airport, BDL, Hartford, Connecticut, and Rhode Island TF Green International Airport, PBD, and Providence, Rhode Island. The events will took place on Tuesday, April 22nd in Hartford, and Tuesday, April 29th in Providence. And by the way, in case you did not know, last year, Breeze Airlines became the first U.S. commercial airline to be certified by Autism Double Checked. Let me say that 2 more times. Last year, Breeze became the first U.S. commercial airline to be certified by Autism Double Checked ADC. Last year, Breeze became the first U.S. commercial airline. American, Delta, Southwest are not Autism Double Checked. And I don't mean they're not good airlines, but since Funky Dineva wanted to talk about autism and shit, we're going to talk about autism and the levels of it, right? And since then, we've worked closely with them to enhance the support and care available to travelers diagnosed with autism spectrum disorder, ASD, by creating an environment where every guest feels seen, valued, and cared for. So here is this here from the road show. Roll it.
Scary. Even I get scared from time to time, but for those on the autism spectrum, it can be downright terrifying. Breeze Airways partnered up with Autism Double Checked, making travel a little bit easier for families.
I'm thrilled to be here. Providence is a really special place for Breeze Airways. Breeze has been in Providence since our first year of operations, and actually we've become Providence's hometown carrier, which means that we are serving more destinations than any other airline in Providence, a fact that we are really, really proud of. We also employ over 200 locally based team members here, and we continue to make investments in this market. It's a place that we find really, really exciting to be in, and we see a ton of opportunity here for future growth.
Breeze has come a long way in Providence since its first departure in 2021.
We currently fly to 22 destinations from Providence, and we recently announced that we're going to continue to expand that. We've got a 5-year investment plan with Providence and hope to even announce some international routes over the coming months and years.
Plus, enjoy new nonstop flights to 2 Southern Gems.
A couple of routes that I'm really excited to tell you about are to Savannah, Georgia, which is just the ultimate Southern charm city, and also Raleigh, Durham. And Savannah, we serve 2 times weekly, flights direct from Providence, so super easy. And Raleigh, Durham, we go to every day.
Breeze makes it a point to support the community and is involved with many local organizations.
There are a few partnerships that we have locally that I'm really proud of. Probably the most exciting one for me personally, my sons both wear very proudly their Rhode Island Football Club jerseys. We are a proud sponsor of the RIFC Football Club in their inaugural season. You might see some of our jerseys around. We are their kit sponsor. We also partner with the Norfolk Food Festival as well as the local PBS station.
Breeze Airways and Autism Double Checked teamed up and developed a special program, Autism Flies, where those on the spectrum can practice every step of the boarding process.
Such a cool event. This is a partnership and a connection with a community that we feel really strongly about. This is run by an organization called Autism Double Checked, and their purpose is to help families with children on the autism spectrum feel more comfortable traveling. We do these mock boarding events. We're the first commercial airline certified in the United States, where families come in, they go through security, they actually board an airplane, they close the airplane door, they get the announcements. The aircraft never actually leaves, but it gives the child and the family the experience of what it feels like to travel on a plane. Our flight attendants, our pilots are trained, even myself at corporate got trained on how to interact with guests on the autism spectrum to make them feel more comfortable and experienced with what it is to be on a commercial aircraft. It's really part of our whole seriously nice motto. I mean, we say that we are nice people flying nice.
Oh, wait, did they say seriously nice? Is Funky Dineva seriously nice or the Funky Bunch? I think they're seriously mean. That's what I think.
People to nice places. We happen to also do it on really nice airplanes. So we try to make the whole travel experience for all community members as comfortable and nice as possible.
So
it really was such a fun and educating experience for all involved. For more information on Breeze Airways, head to our website, roadshow.com. For The Roadshow, I'm Olivia Capraro.
Thank you, Olivia Caparo. Thank you, gorgeous, for that. Black celebrities who are autistic I found 3,230,000 results in 23 seconds. Wait, is that Will Smith? Oh my God. Oh my God. Let's pull this up. Oh my God. Wow. Wow. So a couple of people that's got this here. Let's look at this. Solange Knowles, ADHD. Will I Am, ADHD. Keisha Thompson, Autism, ADHD. Kerry Washington, Dyslexia. Aina Eleni, Autistic. Chloe Hayden, Autistic and ADHD. Will Smith, ADHD. Also, Tony Braxton's son, I believe it's Dineva, also has autism as well. Oh, y'all didn't know that? Oh, yeah. And right here, Whoopi Goldberg, she was diagnosed with dyslexia later in life. And right here, Chris Rock disclosed his diagnosis of nonverbal learning disorder. So even celebrities that Funky Dineva talks about have disabilities. Ain't that something? Ain't that something? Wow. You know what? Let's keep going. I'm curious what else I found. Because I did tell you that's not the only thing I found. So, from athletes to artists, non-black celebrities proving autism is no barrier to success. Mount Noir. See a couple of people there, including Amari that we talked about earlier. Chrisette Michelle. Right here, she shared her autism diagnosis for Instagram followers back in June. In a July interview with Blavity, she revealed that she saw her mom growing up. She revealed that growing up, her mom saw signs of autism in her. She had learned disabilities as a child, and her mother was the government assistant to help her in school. Morgan Harper Nichols, 35, right here. So, she was not diagnosed until she was 31 years old. The artist, poet, and author opened up about learning to unmask artistic traits. Instead, the artist, poet, and author opened up about unlearning to mask artistic traits, and instead embracing them. It was already exhausting being a parent, Nicholas told Today, so trying to be someone that I'm not, camouflage my autistic behavior, my autistic traits, that's something I'm not going to do just to constantly pressure myself, Nichols said. It's so baked to who I am at this point. Sometimes I have to check myself. I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. Maybe I'm not going to add my inflection in my voice here because I'm really tired. Tylen Grant right here. So trans actor Tylen Grant gained notoriety after being cast as Brookie Holloway in a British soap opera in Hollyoaks in 2018. He made history by being one of the first Black actors to portray an autistic character on television. Not only that, but Grant himself has autism diagnosed at 7 years old. Brooke and I have very similar experiences day to day with things that you probably see on screen. He said to the National Autistic Society, if you watch my first opening scene, Hollyoaks, is the experiences of life going on around me. The loud noises, chatter, cars, and the exhaust pipes is something that I actually go through every day. It's something I do experience, other people experience. Marty Williams, who we already talked about here, that first NASCAR driver who is autistic, by the way. Yes, indeed, there. He told Autism Speaks, I feel like there were people and families that needed to know that need the kind of hope and inspiration that can only come from someone who is challenged by similar circumstances. So I talked over my family and decided to go public with it. For me, it was an opportunity to use my racing platform to help bring awareness, inclusion, and acceptance for people in the autism community. In addition to that, I was able to share with everyone, including the NASCAR community, who I really am. Questlove. He's an Oscar winner. Grammy winner. Do you have an Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, or Tony, Funky Dineva, or anybody in the Funky Bunch? Y'all, are y'all on the level of Questlove? I didn't think so. Right here, let's go on. He shared his autism stats in 2013. His memoir, Mo Meta Blues, The World According to Questlove. When he was a baby, his parents initially had suspicions about his calm nature behavior, but they didn't necessarily use the word autism to describe it. In a 2013 interview with NPR, my babysitters and aunts used to say he is like like he is the first child to never give us trouble. Like he doesn't scream, he doesn't even talk, he just sits there. All you gotta do is get a stack of records, put them on the turntable, he'll literally just sit there, watch them turn, and then after the third or fourth hour, then they start to wonder, well, okay, does he do anything else or does he do that? Brianna Clark, oh my God, a gold medalist. Does Funky Dineva have a gold medal or anybody in the Funky Bunch? I don't think so. Interesting. So to talk about people with autism, but people with autism are more famous, accomplished, and they're achieving more than you'll never achieve in your Funky Bunch. It's quite amazing, isn't it? Let's keep going. If there's anyone who doesn't let autism be a barrier for them, it's Paralympic athlete Brianna Clark. She was initially diagnosed at age 4. She has intellectual impairment, but none of that has been able to slow her down the track. In her career, she has won 2 gold medals. Her first was in 2016 at the Para Games in Rio de Janeiro. Then she scored her second at the Tokyo 2020 Paralympic Games. Her mom, Rosalind Clark, opened up about witnessing her daughter beat the odds when she won her gold medal in 2016. It was an amazing experience. She said to World Power Athletes, the reason is for me because having a daughter that has autism, finding out her diagnosis at 4, and basically giving negative information about what her life is going to be, for me to see how high she had come and how far she had come, to see that my daughter was out on the field at Rio de Janeiro and just won another gold and just one gold medal. It brought tears to my whole being. It was a fantastic feeling and so fulfilling as a mother and coach. John Howard right here, a boxer. Now I would like Funky Dineva to say to this brother that autistic people don't matter. Let's see if Funky Dineva makes it out alive or not. I did say alive or not, ladies and gentlemen. Let's keep going. In 2016, when MMA fighter John Howard signed his contract with World Series of Fighting, he was required to undergo a neurological exam after answering questions about his struggles in class as a child. The physician recommended he get tested for autism. The diagnosis left him feeling confused at first. However, he later learned to change his perspective about autism by viewing it as a strength. In 2021, he told Sporting News, my disadvantage is actually my weapon. The way I process things happening is totally different, but it's beneficial to me because what I do for a living, I should be processing it in that way. It makes me a better fighter. So this actually, I think in my case, amplifies my fighting, and maybe that's the reason I'm a great fighter. It made me better. And then Money Long, yours, mine, out. You know that one. That one's autistic. Yeah. Money Long has already opened up about her battle with the autoimmune disease called lupus, and also Tony Braxton has lupus as well. What isn't talked about with the R&B singer is her autism status. Part of that could be because she just found out that she has it. Her Hours and Hours R shared the news back in 2023 and says she believes that representing that side of herself led her to getting lupus. Posting vulnerable news on Twitter. So apparently I'm autistic, and my free self is the version of me that began repressing at the age of 22 because it made me highly uncomfortable. It started first with me doing insane amounts of drugs. Then when that didn't work, I just held it in, which led me to lupus. Then 36-year-old then said that now the lupus got to a point where it's effectively impossible to contain. And in order to free myself from the roller coaster, this autoimmune disease, I have to let go of my emotions, thoughts, and feelings out. But autism, OMG, what the fuck? This is so whack. Now, Amanda Seals, child, I'm going to read it because she's in here, but she said that she did not, really, spend $10,000 for the test, but I'm just going to read it because it's here. Yeah, I'll do the right thing, child. Even though she didn't spend $10,000 on a test, but yes, she had an expensive jacket on. But anyway, after a 3-hour conversation on Club Say Shay last year, Amanda Seals made headlines by declaring she is autistic. She said I recently was diagnosed as someone with who has autism spectrum disorder, which is very difficult to identify Black women because of racism. She explained that because the brain functions differently for an autistic person, they will be considered neurodivergent. But she also added that one could have certain tendencies that are presented outside of what the neurotypical way of things is, and a lot of times that can have you represent in a manner that people misrepresent. And by the way, there was a BBW woman that said autistic people like BBWs. Yeah, so there are people who really do love people with autism. Okay, the art of autism here. 30 autistic people you may not know about. Right here, Anita Cameron. She's one of the original disability rights activists in the United States. She worked on the passage of the Americans with Disabilities Act. Angela Weedle is an accomplished artist and art of autism board member. Dr. Sarat Fala is an MD and freelance medical translator who was born in Zimbabwe and grew up in South Africa. Dr. Angel Kerr. Dr. Kerr is an ethical data strategist and analytical science and founder and CEO of Data Ray DFW. Burnett Grant is a senior lab technician of Flavor Essence at Zoom Essence, neurodivergent advocate in the GIFTS, whose mission is to build a social network that focuses on inclusion and neurodiversity in the workplace. Bernard Grant, PhD candidate in English, associate fiction editor at Tom O'Leary, Review researcher and writer at Grit and Flow, neurodiversity advocate in the GIFTS, Stephen Wilshire. Now, this brother right here is amazing. I've heard about him before because he can draw a whole landscape, right? And he cannot see, which is incredible. So Stephen Wilshire. Tyler Grant is a neurodiversity advocate and the host of the 1% podcast. Lauren Rochelle Fernandez is an autism, ADHD, and mental health advocate, mental health activist, advocate, ambassador, founder of Mask Off. Mask Off strives to empower, educate, and disseminate neurodiversity and mental health. Michael Hop Mike Bergowitz is a multi-platinum music producer for such acts as MC Hammer. Multi-platinum music producer. Did you ever go platinum or multi-platinum or even bronze? Funky not even anybody in the Funky Bunch? No, I didn't think so. Jay is a freelance comic artist. Elise Nicole Bowen is a musical composer. Avery Ankermer, TikTok influencer, has 60,000 followers on TikTok. Yeah. Kayla Smith is a Black autistic disability rights advocate and creator of Autistic Pride. She's got a YouTube channel and a Black female at that. Chris is a writer, has a blog site, Black Neuroqueer Punk. Jackie Pilgrim is on the board 90 and speaks and writes about the intersectionality between race and disability. I'm Martin Williams, of course, the first autistic NASCAR driver. Mongi Niwa Aku, advocate, public speaker, writer, educator, and researcher. Michael Fuller. At a young age, Michael could download music in his head, and he played Mozart by ear at the age of 11 years old. Melissa Simmons is a campaigner on autism and neurodiversity and intersections with race and faith. Is the founder of Miss Todd and the creator of Black History Month for Dummies and White Teachers. Shout out to her. By the way, shout out to Faith Evans, who also has a son with autism. She's got a foundation for that. Also, shout out to Brendan Fraser, who also has a son with autism as well. Lamar Hardwick, he is known as the autism pastor, as a disability advocate, pastor and author. Bill Smith is an artist who's known for his complex gold architectural pieces. This year alone, he sculpted the Sydney Opera House, the one in Australia, the Lincoln Memorial, the Washington Monument, the National Assembly building in Bangladesh, the New York Flatiron building, and an 11-foot Chrysler building. Got that one. Rondo Bird is a New York artist based, known for his life portraits. Ikea Science Wilson is a talented artist and musician who is a sonnet. She's known for her unique, detailed art. Chris McElroy is a freelance writer, artist, and advocate. He's passionate about social justice issues, exploring race, disabilities, gender identity, sexuality, mental health, identity, trauma, and intersectionality. I know I know those words are very allergic to Funky Dineva's mouth and the Funky Bunch's mouth to be able to list any of that out of their mouth. Born and raised in Maryland, Chris is autistic, biracial, Black, transgender man with multiple disabilities who enjoys spending time with his wife and family. Taylor Grant is the first female actress, which we talked about her already, but we'll talk about her again here, to land a mainstream role on British television, according to production company Live Pictures. Right here, Caitlin Bennett made history as the first person with autism to receive a Division I scholarship to play basketball. Division I. Okay. Tom Wiggins, known as Blind Tom, Wiggins was a former slave who turned into a credible musician who traveled around the world playing the piano to sold out concerts. John Howard, aka Doomsday, is a mixed martial arts competitor who started as an electrician. So he can electrocute Funky Dineva, anybody in the Funky Bunch, including whooping the Funky Bunch's asses or Funky Dineva. He is dangerous and he's autistic, my lord. And then finally, Morgan Harper Nichols, writer, artist, storyteller, social influencer who was diagnosed with autism in 2021. Now, obviously, I'm not wishing that on Funky Dineva nor the Funky Bunch, but in the same token, he had enough of a dick and balls to say it out loud, and The Funky Bunch had enough vaginas and dick and balls to agree with him. So there it is. Black autistic YouTubers right there, 358,000 results there in 29 seconds. And here are some, black content creators right here. Just want to bring it up, just since he just dragged it, and of course he said you should take people to, autism friendly clinic. Here it is here. I am Malice right here. Dental care for autism, compassionate dental care, offer community services, whole person care. But shout out to every health clinic and speech therapy practice and everybody in between. And then of course, Autism Society right here. They've been around for 80 years. 60 years. 60 years. So they got screening and diagnosis, resources by topic, and get involved. So you can also buy merch there as well. So Autism Acceptance Month, resource topic, news and updates, screening diagnosis, vaccine, education initiative, get support, understanding autism. So I think what we have learned here tonight is to never fuck with a media nerd who knows his shit. Number 2, if you don't know anything, shut your bitch ass or your Mitch ass up. And the third thing, if anybody finds out in your family, Funky Dineva, or anybody in the Funky Bunch, that one of y'all family members or friends got autism and they want to make fun of y'all, y'all can't say shit. Okay? All right. Now, what I'm saying ain't true. Don't respond to all this. Because you should be big enough to take it, right? You big, bad, and bold, this, that, and the third. You can't ask for construction when you cause destruction, bro. And I think I just did a lot of destruction on your bullshit. With that being said, I'm going to turn off my camera now because we've done the whole show for over an hour. Yes, we have. Y'all, I need a break. We need a break. I know you need one too. So we're going to play our anthem and we will be back right after this. We are live on tour. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. We'll be back right after this. Roll it.
Lights go low, the city goes high. Stories untold under moonlit skies. Got the vibe, got the flow for the culture. Yeah, you already know. Turn it up, lean back, feel the breeze. Late night truths drifting through the trees. It's for the culture, by the culture. Braylon Lee's got the soul to show ya. Breaking it down, lifting it higher. Feel the rhythm, spark the fire. Headlines flip with a soulful twist. Behind the scenes where the magic sits. It's the heartbeat of the now and the then, where the story starts and never ends. Tune in, lean and feel the groove. Every moment, a vibe you can't lose. It's for the culture, by the culture. Braylon Lee's got the soul to show you. Breaking it down, lifting it higher. Feel the rhythm, spark the fire. Hear the whispers in the city's hum, echoes of stories where we're from. A beat, a step, a voice so clear, the pulse of us, it's all right here. We got soul, we got flavor. Every moment is a savior. Every experience is an overcomer. Turn it up, feel the glow, let the rhythm flow. Spotlight shining, we in the zone. This is the place where the culture's grown. Stories untold, now they're coming alive. Braylon Lee got the vibe tonight. One thing to know and two things for sure. Higher is waiting and lower is available. But either way, we gotta go on tour. It's Braylon Lee's virtual tour, where the culture makes its move. Feel the love, feel the truth. This is us, this is you. From the unknown, the unembraced and more. This show, this brand, and the possibilities of what can be is all here for you. I'm just a kid from the rock, trying to be a rock for people, trying to make it best they can to become. Being moved as a creator of power to lift up all of us, not just a selective few. For the culture, by the culture, here we be. Braylon Lee, bringing life to your screen. Feel the soul, feel the truth. We're free, trust and believe. It's limited entertainment news done away with. Capability, spotlight sharp like a diamond shine. We see the stars, but the stories align. Deep in the soul where the heartbeats find. The pulse of the people redefining time. Just a pro tip, people have to earn the right to hear your story, but in addition to that, people have to earn the responsibility to be a part of it. Just because we are not seen by everybody doesn't mean we are not being seen by who needs to see us. Noise equals attention and sound equals purpose. Anybody can be a creator, but it takes a somebody to be an artist.
Now clock that T, okay? Yes, indeed. Y'all, I hope y'all enjoyed this deep dive. And listen, in the words of Martin Luther King Jr., our lives begin to end. We'll become silent on the things that matter. Silent on the things that matter. Our lives begin to end. We'll become silent on the things that matter. And I just got one more thing to say, and then I'm going to bring up this daily motivator, and then we are going to roll the hell on. Okay? Because listen, it's going to keep it a buck with y'all. Here it is right here. Here we go. This is all I got to say in closing before we get to the daily motivator. Go ahead, okay?
I'm tired of marching. Tired of marching for something that should have been mine at birth. I don't mind saying to you tonight. I don't mind saying to you tonight that I'm tired of the tension surrounding our day. I don't mind saying to you tonight that I'm tired of living every day under the threat of death. I have no martyr complex. I want to live as long as anybody in this building tonight. And sometimes I begin to doubt whether I'm going to make it through. I must confess I'm tired.
Let the church say amen. All right, y'all, it's time for the day motivator, and then we're going to get on out of here. Here we go, everybody. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. I think I might need to read this one on camera because this one looks like it's going to be a deep one, everybody. Yes, indeed. Let me get on right here. Hello again. Those who don't remember the past are condemned to repeat it. Funky Dineva, Funky Bunch, that's for you. You should be paying attention to that quote. George Santana. Santiana, rather. It's time for the day motivator for Friday, December 12th, 2025. Winning game. Take note of the circumstances, but don't fight against them. Put your energy into achieving your intentions rather than complaining about certain disagreeable aspects of reality. Find those aspects you can work with, then get busy moving forward. Anybody can be busy, but it takes somebody to be productive, but that's neither here nor there, but a very important point to note. Focus your thoughts on the positive possibilities. Invest your efforts in the good you can do, whether it's a sunny day or a sunny day. Shout out to all those who live on Sesame Street, or a rainy one. Each day brings time you can utilize, adapt, and adjust to the situation of the moment, then make it count. Accept that there are factors you can't change and things you can't do that will free you to concentrate on whatever you can achieve and improve upon. There's no sense in fighting a useless battle. Choose instead to play a winning game. Ralph Morrison. You know what's really funny about YouTube? You're always shit on YouTube until you actually have to go out in real life. So the first thing I would say about winning game is make sure that the moves you're playing, you can stand 10 toes down where you got to be called on it. That's the first thing I would say about winning game. Second thing I'll say about winning game is that adapt and adjust to the situation of the moment, then make it count. Y'all remember when I went after Thirsty Toxicity and brought up the numbers and how the numbers don't lie? Because she was talking about how people weren't really content creators and their subscriber count was going down. They ain't got this, that, and the third. But everybody I talked about was bigger than her existence. Listen, do the thing that nobody expects, right? I used intelligence. Facts. And I utilize the power of information to mentally mollywop on a bitch. Just like I utilized information tonight to mollywop on a Mitch like Funky Dineva. You see, that's the second thing I'll tell you. Finally. There's no sense in finding a useless battle. Choose instead to play a winning game. The gag is, when you are about your business, you will always be in business. But when you're destroying business, eventually your business will get destroyed. Let me say that 2 more times on the big screen. When you are about your business, you will always have business. But when you destroy people's business, you will have no business. When you are about your business, you will always have business. But when you destroy other people's business, you will have no business. And with that being said, it's time for the best outro on YouTube. Know what you do and do what you know. Never say you weren't born special, because you were always born blessed and trust. You may not be where you want to be, but by the end of it, you'll be where you need to be. Do what you've been chosen to do. Wise one thing, call yourself. It's nothing to be chosen. One love, much love, all love. I have spent time with you. You have spent time with me. And hopefully, by spending time together, we'll be great together. And always remember, we're doing radio, television, YouTube, living your best life, or just recognizing maybe the reason why God allowed idiots on the earth is not only to show you examples of what not to become, but to know that you are a solution to showcase to everybody else that there is more good than evil in the world. Make sure the replay is not just for if you watch it, not just for if you listen to it, but if you want to experience it again. I love you. I value you. I embrace you all. Always remember, or see love the God, give it, or see love the God, give it, or see love the God, give it. Wherever obstacles you've overcome, where successes you have achieved upon this particular day, I'm extremely proud of you. But no one else is proud of you. Be proud of your damn self. And finally, if there is anybody out there that's saying that, you know, people are reading court documents and doing this, that, and the third, but yet they ain't doing shit in real life, they ain't shit. They not. If you are around anybody who says if you're not saying Jesus died for nothing, get away from them. Get away from them. Get away from them. And believe me, if you have a social media whore who jumps on bandwagons and says, where can I support? And they can't support their own self, they probably were not designed. I'm sorry. They weren't created to be anything of importance. Now, if it doesn't apply, let it fly. But if you let it fly, it must apply. Because there's a lot of people out there moving in that energy. Okay? All right. Commercial break and fireworks coming your way for the day that was, for the day that's come, for the blessings that are on the way for you, me, all of us, as a society, as a people, as culture. I feel the love and send it right back to you. And by the way, to every single person with autism, with a disability, and what have you, know that you are loved, know that you are cared for, and know that these bitches and mitches, guess what? Their own mamas and daddies probably wanted to swallow them. They were supposed to be a one-night stand, never to four. At least somebody gives a fuck about you. And by the way, those people that I talked about in the last thing I said, along with the people who move like them, think like them, and be about that business, they're closer to the grave to die than the cradle to start life to become somebody. You have time right now in the middle of your life to be something. Guess what? The ending is scary. The beginning is scary. But guess what can make the beginning amazing and the ending amazing? What you are doing right now. And by the way, this pen is powerful. Make sure you don't give it to everybody. Because some people won't give a fuck about how you come out in the end. Commercial break and fireworks coming your way for the day that was, for the day that's come, for the blessings that are on the way for you, me, all of us, as a society, as a people, as a culture. Once again, I feel the love. I'll send it right back to you. Good night, everybody. Love y'all. Bye-bye.
I thought I should tell you, they've been talking about you. Yeah, they've been talking about you. They've been talking about the fact that they've done everything they could to stop you and everything they could to block you, but you still win. They've been talking about the fact that they have undermined your success and they have tried to sabotage your seasons, but you keep winning. They've been talking about the fact that even though they don't like each other, they get together to try to kill you, but you keep winning. They've been talking about the fact that you were voted least likely to succeed, but like cream, you keep rising to the top. They've been talking about how they tried to burn your world down, but like the phoenix, you rose from the ashes. They've been talking about you. And you know what they say? Oh, she's just lucky. He's just lucky. But no, you ain't lucky. You're anointed. You got something on you. You got favor on you. You got power on you. You were born to win. Now they can call it luck, but it's grace. They can call it luck, but it's favor. But whatever they call it, it doesn't matter, because you know what God calls you? Do you know what God calls you? A winner. I thought I should tell you they've been talking about you. Yeah, they've been talking about you. They've been talking about the fact that they've done everything they could to stop you and everything they could to block you, but you still win. The fact that they have undermined your success and they have tried to sabotage your seasons, but you keep winning. They've been talking about the fact that even though they don't like each other, they get together to try to kill you, but you keep winning. They've been talking about the fact that you were voted least likely to succeed, but like cream, you keep rising to the top. They've been talking about how they tried to burn your world down, but like the phoenix, you rose from the ashes. They've been talking about you. And you know what they say? Oh, she's just lucky. He's just lucky. But no, you ain't lucky. You're anointed. You got something on you. You got favor on you. You got power on you. You were born to win. Now they can call it luck, but it's grace. They can call it luck, but it's favor. But whatever they call it, it doesn't matter, because you know what God calls you? Do you know what God calls you? A winner. I thought I should.
Good evening. My name is Mark Woodbury. I'm the chairman and CEO of Universal Destinations and Experiences. Well, we're finally here. Tomorrow we begin a new chapter at Universal Orlando Resort as we open Epic Universe. We built this place for you. I want to thank you, our fans, for your love of our stories, characters, and immersive experiences that inspired this incredible place. Epic Universe represents over 8 years of meticulous planning, immense creativity, and innovation, combined with unmatched craftsmanship and operational excellence on the part of thousands of people who have brought to life the stories and characters that live beyond each of Epic's portals. But it represents so much more. Your love of Universal and the deep connections we've shared together here in Orlando over the past 30 years inspired us to dream bigger and to push the boundaries to create something extraordinary for you and for generations of fans and families to come. And tomorrow, as we open Epic Universe, I can't wait for you to experience this place for yourself. Now it's your turn to step inside, to lose yourself, and to share this place with the ones you love most. As we open this park, we hope your world becomes a little more epic. Tomorrow, Epic Universe becomes yours.
Are video games getting too expensive? This episode, we want to find some common ground because the CEOs want to raise the price even more.
Not with these broken ass games.
$5 million. That's how much San Andreas costs to make. Is it their fault for selling or our fault for buying?
Corporations claim all this stuff. Devs say otherwise.
Sports gamers, cozy gamers, whatever you call the people who play Power Wash Simulator.
I think it stings a little bit more because I'm spending my actual money and my mom is not. Imagine they get rid of all movie theaters and then charge you the same price to watch the same movie at home.
That's like every streaming service. It doesn't have to be the longest of games, but am I having fun with it? This is Lex. I'm Ronell. Let's get right into it.
Prepare for a journey beyond imagination, beyond belief, beyond anything you've experienced before. Universal Epic Universe, a new theme park where you'll step through extraordinary portals to 5 immersive worlds. Prepare for a cosmic voyage of discovery, an isle of fire-breathing excitement, a shadowy world of monsters and mystery, new wonders in the wizarding world, and a new way to play. Plus the splendor of a magnificent resort hotel overlooking the park. It's all new excitement at Universal Orlando Resort. A week's worth of vacation thrills with 4 amazing theme parks, a variety of spectacular themed hotels, and incredible dining and entertainment. It's all at Universal Orlando Resort, where you'll find new adventures every day. Explore the astonishing worlds of Universal Epic Universe at Universal Orlando Resort.
Because here's the thing, a good streamer can find other content. Because here's the thing, a good streamer can find other content. Because here's the thing, a good streamer can find other content. Because here's the thing, a good streamer can find other content. Because here's the thing, a good streamer can find other content.
Child Relevant over there doing his thing, minding his GD business, staying out of trouble, trying to get the folks some positive stuff to talk about. Besides lying all the damn time. Child Relevant over there doing his thing, minding his GD business, staying out of trouble, trying to get the folks some positive stuff to talk about. Besides lying all the damn time. Child Relevant over there doing his thing, minding his GD business, staying out of trouble, trying to get the folks some positive stuff to talk about. Besides lying all the damn time. Child Relevant over there doing his thing, minding his GD business, staying out of trouble, trying to get the folks some positive stuff to talk about. Besides lying all the damn time.
Good morning, TikTok. Can I have your attention, please? Girl, are you ticking? Are you talking? Because knowledge is knocking. Then I want to talk to you real quick about ignoring a bitch. Oh, there's power in turning the other cheek. Now, I'm going to tell you something. One thing about people that like to throw shade, you don't fight shade with shade. The only thing that overrides and destroys the shade is the sunlight. See, your light got to be so bright that you keep that bitch where they belong. In the shadows, the dark. The bitch is invisible, and we don't see you, girl. See, you don't go back and forth with a person that's hating on you, because when you do that, you become just like them. A weak bitch. So the next time they mention your name in a status, or your name come up in a conversation, don't respond because you're too high to look that low. We can't go back and forth with people that we can't reach and that's not on our level. We not sitting at the same table eating the same meals.